In today's walkthrough, we'll be sharing how the Insights platform, available for free download off the Apple Store, can help you capture and monitor your patient's HOOS outcomes, correlate those outcomes to pre- and peri-clinical evidence, and generate rich and engaging reports, both for your patients and for yourselves. First things first, we're going to log into our Insights Scribe application, accessible on iPhones or iPads. We come to our dashboard and we're going to create a new case. First, we will select our patient. We can either select from an existing list or enter our own. If entering, all that's required is first name, last name, and email address so that the application knows to whom to send the surveys and ultimate reports. Next, we need to ascribe to that patient a treatment path. Today's walkthrough will focus on the indication of hip OA and the treatment of PRP. However, you can design a treatment path for any indication or treatment. We now see the case has been created and a various set of surveys have been assigned to that patient for completion. The very first survey, called the patient evaluation, will contain two standardized patient assessments. First is the VAS scale. Second is the HOOS survey in full with all of its subscales. In this method, you might imagine your patient in your office or in your waiting room using a mobile device in order to quickly and easily respond and enter in their baseline scores. However, for follow-ups, you may wish to send those surveys remotely to your patients so they can respond from the comfort of their homes. Here's how that happens. On the appointed follow-up periods, a survey will be sent to the patient's email address. Within that email will be a link to a website. Therefore, patients can access this via any device, Android, iPhone, and/or desktop. The same HOOS and VAS assessments will be presented in an easy-to-respond way. And when the patient is done, they press the completion button and the data comes back to your central account at Insights. Once they've finished their survey, they are immediately rewarded with a rich and engaging report, which is automatically generated from the Insights platform. Here's a sample of what that report might look like shortly after completing their baseline data. It'll have a personalized header with your logo, headshot, and other information. It can provide some treatment information, such as descriptions on the product or their indication. And finally, it can provide their scores. In this case, just a single score, their baseline measurement of HOOS. Now let's imagine the patient has responded to a much later follow-up, say an 18-month follow-up. But now you can track their assessment scores over time, showing them at each follow-up period how they've scored, how it's measured relating to the other scores that they've previously entered, and providing them with true transparency as to how they are recovering. Now, if your goal is to correlate pre, peri, or post-clinical evidence against those outcomes, you'll want to go back to the clinical application. And we're going to present to you two more surveys. The first is an injection survey, where several surgeons experienced in the field have determined how the protocols or the delivery mechanisms of your treatment might have impacted those outcomes. These questions, as with all else on Insights, can be entirely customized for your needs. The second survey will focus on the PRP product, in which you can characterize the platelets, leukocytes, red blood cells, anticoagulants, and other factors which may contribute to the ultimate success of the treatment. If you're interested in learning more about Insights, we encourage you to go to insightsdata.com to register for free, or go to the Apple Store to download Insights Scribe, also free. Shortly after your registration, an insightometrist will be in touch to walk you through the platform and offer to build your very first custom treatment path. Thank you for watching this week's MTP demonstration. We'll see you again next month.